Alright, what's going on, guys? Elden Ring Nightreign has been out for a few weeks now, and I'm sure by now we've gotten very familiar with these Night Lords. Personally, I think they're some of the best bosses Fromsoftware has cooked up in a very long time. But as we talked about in the last Elden Ring Nightreign video, they're about to get even stronger, with the addition of new enhanced versions of these Night Lords, the first of which is confirmed to be coming out sometime this month. However, in typical Fromsoftware fashion, pretty much all of these enhanced versions of the Night Lords have already leaked, and so we have a lot to break down. So here is a little bit of a spoiler warning, but we gotta talk about this. But as we get started today, we need to talk about internet and connections to the game, because in a game as fast-paced and difficult as Elden Ring Nightreign, having good connection can be the difference in a successful run. And to get your internet up to speed, we've got just the thing. Gear Up Booster is an online network optimization tool specifically designed for gaming, so that you get the best connection for uninterrupted play. All you have to do is find the game you're playing and click Boost, and then Gear Up will stabilize your network connection through the game, giving you less lag. You can even manually select the server you want to connect to either find which one provides the fastest speed, or more seamlessly connect with friends across the world. And if you're on console, Gear Up also has their special HyperRev internet router, which is super handy and available for under $100. So maximize your connection today in-game with Gear Up Booster, trusted and used by the esports team TSM, by using my link down below in the description or comments section. And now let's get back to the video. Alright, so like I said, we had the announcement last week about the new enhanced versions of the Night Lords coming out soon. It seems like these are going to be a gradual slow rollout over the next few months leading up to the DLC. But the problem here is that people who have been perusing down in the game's files have discovered that many of these enhanced versions of the Night Lords are already present in the version of the game. So the files and the code for these fights shipped with the base version. Now, why is that? Well, I think Fromsoftware fortunately realized how perfect this game is for constant slow drips of content updates, in addition to the DLC. So these enhanced fights were definitely planned pre-launch as a way to tide over the fans until we get the major DLC later this year. And I'm very glad about that. It is very easy for players to beat the 8 Night Lords and then just be done. Realistically, most players are not going to do all the remembrances for every character and get all the endings, because the playstyles for each one are so different. Some people just don't like certain characters. So this is a great way to keep the casual player engaged with the game. So what exactly are these enhanced versions? Well, about on track with what we were predicting. This is not simply going to be a health and damage buff. This is a full overhaul to the fight. Now let me put a little disclaimer here. We do not know for 100% certainty that these are going to be the enhanced versions of the fight, but we're pretty sure because these exist in the files of the game already, and all of the Night Lords have an unused third phase and unused third phase OST. So as always when we talk about leaks and such like this, until we have the official release, stay a bit skeptical about all of this, but the evidence here is pretty overwhelming. Now, I'm not going to show any video of these because some videos have been taken down. I don't want to mess with that, but we are going to talk about it. So let's break down each fight one by one and go over exactly what has been found. Now when it comes to Gladius, there has been found an unused Phase 3 OST. However, details of the Phase 3 moveset and how exactly the fight changes are currently unknown. Now I would like to guess that the enhanced versions of these fights will drop in order, with Gladius of course being the first one. So at least in terms of spoilers, it's fortunate that this one has not been fully restored yet. So at least we'll get to be surprised whenever this comes out, likely in a week or two. Now when it comes to Adele Baron of the Night, or Gaping Jaw, this fight has some pretty drastic changes to it, with a big overhaul. Like all of the others, the Phase 3 OST has been data mined, and he gets a big appearance change. In Phase 3, there's now a big purple gravity effect covering both jaws, and he gets several new moves, one of which is a new charge that causes a purple vortex to trail behind him, and during this there's purple lightning striking the ground all around. However, the big attack that's new for Phase 3 is that he can create a giant black and purple tornado that he disappears into the middle of. This covers a majority of the arena, and you have to go around outside the tornado and find a spirit spring jump in order to get into the middle of it and fight the boss, in now a much more contained arena. Currently the other attacks have not been fully discovered, but overall Phase 3 seems to be a much more tuned up version of the fight, which was already chaotic enough. Now, I ain't even gonna lie, the enhanced Sentient Pest fight just looks like absolute hell. In order to get to phase 3, you have to actually beat the whole fight first. And then once the boss is dead, out of the corpse of the moth, a sort of red spirit moth will rise up. It will then begin sending out these pulses that revive and heal the moth and scorpion. The boss fight now has 3 health bars, with the original moth and scorpion at about a third of health, and the red spirit moth at full health. During this time, the red moth is flying around, but if you kill the scorpion, the red moth will then descend and possess the scorpion, reviving it to about 2/3 health, and it now has a new model where it's glowing red and has these glowing red tendrils all over its body. And doing damage to this also damages the health bar of the red moth. The enhanced version of the scorpion seems to have the same moveset, although the stomps now leave the red tendrils along the ground and explode after a short time. If the original moth dies, the red moth can also possess it, giving it that same glowing red and tendrilless look, and the moveset also stays fairly similar, although the projectiles are now glowing red, there are more of them, and they shoot at a different interval. And the same is true about its Starfall attack, which seems to be done 3 times instead of 1 now. But if you can tolerate all of this and drain the health bar of the red moth, then the fight is over. Man, that one is going to be tough. Augur is kind of in the same boat as Gladius, to where the only thing we have of this fight in its 3rd phase is the OST. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even want to try to guess what they're gonna do with this fight. Definitely something to do more sleep effect, but that's gonna be a nightmare. Also, like Augur and Gladius, the 3rd phase of Libra has not been restored yet. However, we do have the new appearance of Libra in phase 3. What we see with the model is that his chest splits open, and on the inside are now something similar to the rings you see on screen, but much smaller, laying flat in a sort of column. No idea yet exactly what the moveset of phase 3 is going to be, but I'm sure it won't be long before we find out. The enhanced 3rd phase of Augur has been data mined also. In this phase transition, the big corrupted arm that spawns in phase 2 gets consumed by light, and he floats up into the sky, and the arm transforms into a normal arm like his opposite one. During this phase, he wields his sword as many different types of weapons, one of which involves him floating up into the air and firing a massive arrow of light out of the pommel of the sword. The arrow sticks into the ground and then after a few seconds explodes into a giant explosion. He can also do an attack where he shoots that arrow up into the air, and it causes a cloud of falling arrows that trails the players. There's another move where he can transform the sword into a twin blade and do a double spin before jumping in the air for a 3rd and slamming back down. There's another move with the twin blade where he does a very long combo and series of slashes, about 7 or 8 in total, and this one just looks rough, very hard to time. But overall, I think this phase might actually be not that bad because the attacks are more deliberate, and there seems to be generally less explosions. Caligo is sort of in the same position as Libra here, where the only thing we have is the new model. And basically all that's going on here is that he becomes covered completely in ice spikes. Very thin, almost icicles sticking out in all directions, completely covering him. And it looks like the inside of the wings turn more blue. But as for what exactly happens in phase 3, we don't know yet. Now, fortunately, absolutely nothing is known about Heolstor. Surely they'll end up doing a phase 3 of this fight, enhanced version though, because it seems like there is a phase 3 OST that has been found, but absolutely nothing in terms of appearance or moveset, anything like that. But those are the currently known details about the enhanced versions of the Night Lords. Again, like I said, it is not 100% confirmed that these are what we're going to get shipped with the enhanced version updates, but it's pretty likely. I mean, I don't see what else these would be in the files for, if not the enhanced version. However, something else that has been discovered are potential rewards for these fights. There was data mined a while back, dark versions of the relics for each Night Lord. Now again, I don't know the source on that. I've had the list sent to me several times now, but I saw it going around before the enhanced fights were even announced. So surely those are going to be the rewards you get for beating the enhanced version. It just makes too much sense. But what do y'all think about what we've seen so far? Are you prepared to fight the enhanced Night Lords? These do not look easy by any stretch of the imagination, so I hope you guys are prepared. They did say these are going to start rolling out before the end of the month, so get ready, it won't be long. With all that though, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.